we said is very good for energy.
Exactly. That's the thing, is you want to even that score up. You want to give yourself a chance of actually leapfrogging them and getting closer there, because these teams, the bottom 5, are all relatively close, but if Apex are able to get that one up and start climbing up higher, then they separate themselves from the pack by a pretty meaningful distance now.
What for picks and bans?
Trundle, huh? Okay.
Vladimir still goes out. We saw a lot of top lane focus for Ray actually coming through, and they said, well, that didn't work out. Let's focus our ban somewhere else, because he's still going to play something that brings the pain in the top.
You can see where the teams are trying to enable their own players.
Yep.
Apex, they're trying to get rid of, the Apollo's possible lane counter that'll kill him. They're trying to get rid of an annoying champion from Quas that'll keep him alive and allow him to split push and have an early advantage. And then also from Kiwi Kid from winning the bottom lane against Xpecial, who likes playing those melee supports at the moment.
I just feel like with that Trundle out, the Aurelia may just be the first pick here up once again for Ray. Love to see the Tom Kench coming from Quas. It will not be the Aurelia, due to the fact that it was actually banned out. Nicely done by NRG. What will be the first one here? NRG actually decided a Braum first pick last time. It left quite a bit open for Apex to start. We'll see what Apex leaves NRG to get a 1-2 pick with here as they go for number 1.
Yeah, the Braum first pick was really strange from NRG. Didn't like it in the slightest. I do think it's a Rek'Sai first pick here. Shrimp had locked it in instantaneously last round, and it's his best champion, hands down. So they'll definitely pick that up, force Santorin onto a champion.
Yep.
That's different. Probably wouldn't pick Evelyn into it because Rek'Sai has a large advantage there, but not much can match up to the Queen of the Xerxai in the jungle at the moment.
And already you're getting that blue buff early for Keen, so that's something you can already start to think way a few steps ahead of the game and understand that if Keen gets anything early, that blue buff will make it even better.
Yeah, that's another thing that people don't always attribute to the power of Rek'Sai, is that first blue buff is donated to your mid laner.
Yeah.
So they're not going to be able to pick it up. Sometimes in lane swaps, you start on that side of the jungle.
Right, so
if you're going from like Romp and stuff like that. But I think that it's honestly a fantastic champion, not just because of the kit and everything, but because that is the extra +1 that is really hidden, but it makes it so that your mid lane is already affected.
There's the choice. Santorin takes the Gragas. Very well known for that play. Quas takes the Braum. Again, energy. Love the Braum. They want it. Gotta have it.
Yeah, and that's just a defensive pick there.
Yep.
Which Braum is usually to round out something that's going to be heavy artillery later on in your draft, but they pick it up, and I'm still just really curious to see how this draft ends up for NRG, because it's been all over the place. It's been kind of unpredictable.
And it might just be the same thing here for Apex.
Yeah.
The last two, they can pick that in. I mean, the Azir's gone, so you're going to have that switch up with the Aurelia.
I mean, he'll play Cassiopeia, he'll
right.
play Ryze, like Keen.
To the same effect.
Yeah, Keen has a large champion pool, and GBM's champion pool has been called into question a few times now. I do think he should go back to the Victor. I think it's a GBM special. I think it's a great champion for him. And if they want to give counter pick to Quas, depending on what Ray picks, then I think that you go with this blind pick.
Showing the Victor a lot of communication here between OQ and the rest of the team. They look down Kiwi Kid's way for some final say. What's he typing?
V-A-Y-N-E. Spells Lucian.
K-O-G apostrophe M-A-W. All right, so it's going to be the Lucian and the Victor locked in for NRG. They took some time to get those picks in, but definitely like this comp much better than what they brought in game 1 already.
Yep.
And now Apex. They see the Victor, the Lucian. They know there's going to be some good AoE in these fights from the Gragas as well. What do we round it out with?
I wholly agree with you, though. Better comp so far from NRG.
Yeah.
I don't know how you, like, quote-unquote, mess this up with a top lane pick. I do think that this is a really good composition, well-rounded in terms of damage, engage, disengage. You have a strong laning presence AD carry, so your Lucian Braum combination can still hold up to an Ashe and possibly kill her in lane if it is the 2-on-2. So overall for GBM, quite good. For Apex, you may go Cassio here. Ryze would be a little bit of a risk. And then the Zillion was banned out last game from NRG. And it was a big enabler for Ray. So you could pick that alongside the Exactly.
And that Jax was banned.
Yep. Some of the dropped bans. The Fiora was the other one that was dropped. So Apex get the same comp plus 2 of the champions that were banned away from them. So every single champion that they picked was one that we had seen picked or banned last game on Apex's side.
Ray's on this super fighter again, too, that he can just dive into the fight with high highs and the low lows once again.
Yeah, and with the Aurelia banned away, Boss doesn't really get a big answer here. He could go Maokai, but ends up losing the split push.
Yeah.
I think you go Shen.
That's actually a great pickup. We saw him getting quite a few bans in the week. It seems like from week to week, he kind of falls out of memory for the team, or with the patch change, they're like, oh, let's see if this works in the patch. But Shen still works. He kind of just sits by the wayside, raising his hand on the bench with Tom.
I'm still here. He's a great ninja, because people forget about him.
Yeah. He's just too good of a ninja.
But yeah, I do think you go Shen here. Your W will allow you to dodge everything, and allow your team to dodge it, but the Olaf and Ray, it looked like he had a little bit of a chuckle there for a second. It's like, all right, he's ready to go toe-to-toe with Olaf.
Sweet. I
Ghost
like
War.
this as well. It's definitely going to be a bit difficult here in the trades. Very mechanically sound. Both players have to be. And then the level 6 hits, you can kind of dodge out the stun, but it's who can really just beat that HP bar out of you first.
Exactly, and we don't really see too many Olaf tops. And Quas will be familiar with this matchup against the Jax because he was running Ghost Jax last week, getting NRG their 3rd match win. And the Olaf might be the counter here that he's looking for. You can't counter-strike the E damage, you can't counter-strike the Q damage, and primarily Olaf, if you get him low, he's just going to hit you even harder, and you can't stun him.
You also can't count out the interesting last pick. And that is going to be the Olaf for NRG. We see both team comps now set once again. The coaches giving their final words of wisdom to the players as they shake hands and retreat to backstage. A lot more synergy, according to the comp, as the game goes on. From what we saw in the poke composition, if we see NRG falling behind this time, they're going to have a much easier time trying to make something else happen, even if it's from objectives, even if it's from turrets. As we get into game with us, head over to Twitter. Tweet us at LOL Esports using the hashtag LOCKIN and share your team spirit. We're looking for photos, easy to say, showing you and your friends decked out in team gear and flying your favorite team's colors. Show us which team has the most passionate fans. We will highlight your pictures later in the day.
But only if they're the best.
Only if they're the best.
So hashtag LOCKIN.
Hashtag LOCKIN and show us how you LCS. We are into game number 2. I'm sure everybody is ready for some wards to go down and a bunch of other action that happens, but there's going to be wards, I promise.
There's going to be a lot of wards from Apex because they were lighting up the map last game.
Yes.
Ruby Sightstone for special early on. You get to your 4 ward limit with that purchase much earlier than normal because people go for the eye items, which are more, which take more to complete, but you get a little bit more gold generation along the way.
The eye items, I like it.
Yeah, the eye of the Oasis, eye of the Equinox, eye items. It's kind of hard to say, but
Sure that's not copyright already?
oh god.
Look out.
Apple, please.
All right. GBM and Keen laughing it up in the mid lane. It's like Biscuits around for those starts.
Storm Raiders surge for GBM to try and catch up.
Grasp. Yeah, Storm Raiders. Gotta go fast.
Yeah, everything seems pretty standard here. You can go Storm Raiders as well on Zillion. We see some people do it, but decides to go for the Thunderlords for the damage.
No Sivir this game either. We've actually seen quite a bit of Sivir in every matchup. She was even played last night, I believe, in both games as well. So
very popular utility AD carry, but OQ went for the damage AD carry for the early game. And it's going to be the 2-on-2 and the 1-on-1. Both have melee supports, which is something that we don't see too much in North America. I think that these would be the 2 teams to do it, though. Like, you think about the players, Kiwi Kid and Special. A lot of the old guard here, like, I think they may be the 2 most senior LCS supports at the moment.
That's true. The
like,
old
Kiwi Kid for sure.
Stuck in their ways.
He's played every game. He's played every LCS game.
That's also, I mean, that's also Kiwi. We know Special to be utility as well. He always had a good Janna on the end. But Kiwi Kids always loved the Annie, the engage, the if I can't flash in, I probably don't want to play it.
Yeah.
That's obviously not true, but he always has loved to go hard in these games.
He likes doing damage, or he likes being the protector. Like, he really
Yep.
likes Braum, and then the other things are like Zyra and all that right now. But has stopped prioritizing the Zyra with some of those nerfs to her. He's been going back to the melee supports.
Safe trading in the bot lane so far. Both these teams matching up has really not given anybody too much in the early game. The turret fell for Apex first last time, but we did see NRG able to answer with those two. It was a lot of ganks towards Quas. See if they actually focus that top lane again here in this matchup. Pretty low, just messing with him.
Yeah, Santorin did a different route where he cleared his entire side of the jungle. Got level 3, so he doesn't have his blue buff yet.
Woo.
And now he's going to go pick it up after getting the Scuttle Crab. So he got there a little bit earlier than you normally do, because normally your route takes you by harder to take camps. So you'd go from like Krugs to red to blue if you're doing the free. But Raptors are much faster to clear for Gragas, and then he showed up there a little bit faster than Shrimp thought he would.
Yeah. Just perfect for Ray to be able to engage onto Quas right now. He doesn't have too much lane to run away in, and he's forced to walk up just outside turret range for farm.
Shrimp could possibly go for a dive because it's a ghost, no flash.
There it is, and Quas is going to go down. One last tether could have been enough charge, and Ray stays alive as he breaks that. No more action towards the mid lane, just a little bit of pressure from GBM, but again, the top lane gets the love.
Yeah, and they saw this coming last game for NRG, but now he's going to have to blow his teleport. He blew his ghost, and it did nothing for him. He got 2 summoner spells for 2. Possibly the teleport out of Ray, but I don't think you teleport back to this wave. I think it just pushes out, and Quas has to just push forward. But yep, I guess he is going to walk it there, because they may go for a repeat gank. Unsure. Santorin body slam flash.
Oh, I thought it was coming, but he held on to it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get the Zillion with it.
Yep. There are a lot of minions, too, that would have just kind of given him away right on the entry to the lane. So, action everywhere. Santorin kind of back to that early ganking style as they saw something happen to Quas in the top lane, and they want to try and get it back immediately. Again, now the blue buff over to Keen Zillion. And it clears that even more almost in the Azir. That's going to be GBM just sitting in lane, lasering back at him.
Oh, yeah, and Zillion has one of the most expensive combos in his kit. It was like double bomb is 140, plus rewind is 35, so you're doing 200 right there. And he's only got 540, so you can only do that 3 times before you're out of mana. And if you even throw any of the E in there, that's another 50 on top of it.
Such an incredible gank stop as well if you're just able to find Santorin and throw 2 bombs on him, avoiding a gank. So he's sitting pretty in the mid lane. Everything else from CS is pretty even across the board. Just a little bit of a gold lead on First Blood right now as we see Special go in ahead, but pulverize and make this a little easier to farm out for Apollo. Still have the Ash Arrow engage on their side.
Not just yet, though. That'll happen late game.
Right. I'm going to say that can always be helped by the speed up of Keen once they get into the engages. I thought Special was going to go even harder, though, so I had to pause. No fight, though.
Yeah, the desk was talking about where Special is trying to force a lot of these things. And it's his job on the team, in all honesty, is Shrimp is going to go towards Ray. Special has to try to create some type of advantage on the bottom side of the map. But nope. Today, it's their lucky day. It's a 4-man dive bot lane. NRG.
This is one of those happy birthday situations. Who gets the first present? They come flying through. It's going to be Kiwi Kid. Nicely holds his summoners, though. You know what the result is there. Try not to get out.
Exactly. And OQ also gets out. So it's 1 kill for the teleport. A little bit of a lost wave in the mid lane, but it goes over to Ray, half of it.
And he's pushed, so.
Quas does get a CS advantage, I think, because it's a frozen wave towards him. If he can hold it, then it's definitely beneficial for Quas. But we'll see. Another TP comes down from Keen. Tries to double bomb Kiwi Kid, lands the first one. And then they had a cannon minion that soaked that first shot, which was really important because Shrimp, if he had taken that first shot, he would have died there.
The ramp up.
Yep, would have stacked up really
very
quickly.
Nice.
He almost died on the way out. If he had taken one more, then that would have been it. That would have been it. But good on Apex to push it up.
Also, a double Sightstone very early here for Shrimp and Special, so they're going to be forcing that vision. Already you can see from the flash play around the blue and the Gromp in that bottom area. Ray returns to top lane. Not too much CS actually grabbed. A little bit of a lead, as you said. That should all be flowing back into his way here. Squaw slowly creeps it back in. 7.5, 2 kills now for APX. Nothing really in the way of a turret or an objective coming from any of these, but a few more kills, and APX is usually able to cascade that right through to a mid turret and then onto more.
It's all about that snowball. If they can get that mid turret, it really opens up the map for either team, honestly. I think NRG with their wave clear would try to, and then try to siege, but not really a lot of focus on that side of the map for them just yet. In those side lanes, leaving the mid to their own devices. Kind of frustrating to gank a Zillion when he has that res. He gives a lot more time for his top laner's TP to come through and his jungler to arrive. Even an Ash Arrow too, so you have to keep all these things in mind when you're ganking as a jungler. So it's kind of a balancing act of what's the risk of doing this, and you have to take into account everybody and what they have. How many ganks have you seen where a jungler walks up, they think they can win it, and then here comes the double TP, and your top laner doesn't have his?
Yep.
Like, yep, happens a lot.
And then bot says, "Where are you?"
Like, I used it earlier because he pushed me out. And it's like, well, maybe I should have ganked top at that point, right? Maybe got his TP and tried to even it.
And then you both become all chat warriors. 9 minutes on the clock. Rift Herald going over to Ray, and he is going to be even bigger now. The assist went to him instead of the kill last time. That went over to Shrimp, but both of those guys have been wreaking havoc on NRG strategies here. And already you can see Shrimp, he's living inside Santorin's jungle. Santorin on the bot side may be able to make something happen here, but he may be sitting on a ward. He's going to walk over this pink, that's for sure.
Boop. Takes that for himself. Ah, no cheers this time. Oh, no. Nope, that doesn't count. This is afterwards.
He gets seen by another ward as he tries to route the top side. They actually don't really know where Shrimp is here. They're kind of waiting. He just walks by a pink, so they realize he was in the top. They say, he's at my Raptors. They're just going to get a quick blue. Everything's really working in favor of APX right here. The wards placed in their jungle are also going to give the upper hand to Apollo and X Special as they move out of bot lane.
Yeah, and you were talking about wards, and obviously there's a guy out there who loves wards. So this is for him. The last game, NRG placed 129 wards, and Apex placed 125% of that at 162. So they placed 1/4 more wards, which definitely made the difference because they were able to control the map, and Apex are just more active.
Yeah.
And I love it, too, because you even look at what Santorin's doing. He's trying to compensate for that by holding on to his yellow trinket, whereas Shrimp, as soon as he got Sightstone, swaps over his trinket. It's like, yep, this has more wards than the Tracker's Knife. I'm going to make sure that I have vision control. And even with the Tracker's Knife, Santorin decides not to.
And it's so, you feel like it's almost pushed forward.
Oh, boy. Oh,
wow.
He gets another bomb.
Very slow. The gravity field is there. Oh, he thought he could get it before the gravity field. He could have flashed to the left and still autoed out, but it's all right. Easier said than done. GBM gets away on that one. And you're incredibly right with the warding placement. Even with everything up on that front tier of wards, you can see 3 more have been placed by Apex in the top side of the jungle. That's kind of like a 3 squad every time going out. Whereas NRG, they already have places they need warded. You're not going to stack them next to each other. So the fact that Apex always controls that just means they're getting such a plethora of wards added on each time.
And your wards don't really do anything when Shrimp enters your jungle and hangs out there. Because he's avoiding all of your vision because he's already passed the vision line. You just know that he was on that side of the map about 1 minute and 30 seconds ago. So it doesn't help you out too much.
Yep. Forego the scuttle. Don't want it just yet.
Hope he's going to find that one. Yep, always fighting the Raptors. And if you are taking away the opponent Raptors, you definitely cripple their ability to take away your vision and deny it. So that's one of the things that he's also doing is controlling the Raptor camp. So Santorin can't smite it and then walk through his jungle and find one of the 3 wards that are always in the backside of that red pit. So, no, dude, you leave my Raptors alone.
Yep, that's the Void Rush. It's not a farm alarm this time. Santorin knows he's in trouble, flashes up, and he dodges the second bomb nicely. He uses the cask just for a bit of extra safety to get out of that one with a call from GBM.
It always feels really bad, though, as Gragas, to have to use your flash to get out as opposed to a body slam flash gank, which you would love to be able to execute on somebody like Ray and have Quas chase him down. Like you have a lot of chase down in that top lane if you get those slows off after the initial body slam flash.
I feel like it's always hard also putting yourself in a lane where, yeah, Quas could have taken down Ray and things could happen as Shrimp continues to invade. But you're almost waiting for 6. So you want to see what this NRG team can do together when they come together with those ultimates, with that Chaos Storm, Quas running around untouchable. But it doesn't seem like they're going to get out of the lanes in a position where that may really work for them. Quas is holding a good lead there. But I feel like Ray getting on the back line is going to be much more detrimental once they get out of lanes.
Yeah, Quas will be able to soak arrows, though. That's the good thing going for him.
Point.
Is a lot of Apex's power is in their crowd control and not so much their damage. So Quas can run straight through the crowd control. That's the beauty of crowd control, honestly, is you stop their damage and make it 0. And so even if your damage is lower, like let's say I have 5 people, they each do 200, right? You have 4 people, and they're each doing like 210.
Yeah.
Like, sure, you out-damaged me if you had 5, but with one of them out of the question, I win.
That's true.
So it's things like that that this composition is relying on. Or the picks. That works too.
Oh, trying to play that game a chance. Like I said, if you think somebody might be in the jungle, they are in the jungle. Good rule of thumb to go by. And GBM goes down very quick.
Yeah, but sometimes you have to walk over there.
I mean, yeah, you do.
Like, you know there's somebody in your jungle. I don't know if you know how many, but it's good to check sometimes. Like that's the hard part for supports, and it's one of the beauties of the blue trinket is that you don't put yourself at risk. But not able to get one of those this early on for the AD carry for OQ. And you can see Keen is already investing in his own blue trinket.
Should create tiny wards that you can throw like Teemo Mushroom.
Throw tiny wards off of each other.
Bounce a few times.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to go over there. I'll just off this ward. Obviously Farsight trinket, but I'm saying as opposed to a trinket. So, there. Quas still keeping the farm up. We'll take a look back at this. So he put the sweeper down. He absolutely knew there were a bunch of red bodies in there, but he was also looking to clear and help the team control their own side of the jungle.
It's a little bit too fast of an engage there for him to react.
Yeah.
He saw the red bodies, but it's only because he was seeing red at that point.
Oh, that gives.
Yeah. Also, wards are worth experience now when you kill them, so those cheers should be a little bit louder because of that. These supports are leveling up off of that.
Ooh, the true damage coming through. Doesn't look like it can stay for too long, though. Ragnarok is on. Ray is trying to play this one very safely. It's the bait with Shrimp just off on the wing, but it looks like he may try to skitter out of here. Undertow just misses.
I mean, if he can get the flash out of Ray, then it's worth it, but he's not even going to get that much.
Yep. That's a good quick ward placement by Ray to jump to.
That went over to Santorin.
It did.
I also want to point out that Quas is maxing his E first for the true damage, as opposed to maxing the Undertow and having the constant slow. He doesn't have really cooldown reduction either to get the string of axes, but he's just trying to get the damage off and make sure that he can hit Ray during the E and be able to be relevant during that time.
And there's one of those Raptor Smites you were talking about. Shrimp just steals Santorin's, as it looks like, or Apex rather. Starting to get a strategy of their own into the mix. Pressure towards the mid lane. Xpecial trying to rough up the bottom lane. Things may change. It was mid lane, but now it's bot lane focus. The flash and the stand beside me. As Kiwi Kid actually uses OQ for safety. 1 bomb. Can we get 2? Cannot get it over the head of Xpecial and in range of Kiwi Kid.
Yep. It was a good...
That was a quick audible call by Apex, and they may have to go for bottom lane.
Good heal there
from
OQ to get him out. And yeah, they're going to have to go after this top side. Cass to delay. Top side, though, Ray getting kind of pushed around, but they're going to have to lose this turn.
Are they going to bait in the fight? Because Victor is almost here. Kiwi Kid turns around. This fight in the top as well. Ragnarok is on. Grandmaster from Ray as he backs up. They try to fight that one out, but it will not go down. And it looks like with GBM's roam as well, he was a little bit late to the party there too. Bot turret goes down, and that's our first one of the game.
And Quas going to walk through the turret, take some damage. It'll increase his attack speed, so it isn't that bad for a buff.
True.
And now he's going to be able to just push this wave out. He's not going to get enough damage on this turret to be meaningful. It's almost half HP, but that's an unanswered turret for Apex off the dive.
Ooh. It didn't exactly reach either, so he's gonna have, or Ray's gonna have a nice wave to come back to.
It's actually going to be swapped out for Apollo here.
Oh, you're right.
Ray's just gonna go do some soul searching through the jungle. Maybe find a Rattata, you know. We'll see. He's just wandering.
Oh man, you went there. 2K in the lead. It's Apex. You are very right. It's going to be Apollo, level 10, trying to get that 11 out of this top wave. Still waiting. Both these teams, I can say both. Apollo has played Ash twice. He's just switched sides. They weren't really used for kind of long-range engages. Everything was up close and personal. We haven't seen this strategy from them be a, I'm on the other side of the map, quick, get this pick, and we'll work off.
Well, that might be what's happening with NRG right here. Ray dodges him, ships in the night. They're on their way, and yep, now we're at the lane spots. But I think this is a race. I think they both got to the point where it's like, hey, we're comfortable with how much of a wave we have. Apollo's going to continue to push top. It's going to be everybody on NRG side pushing down this bottom. Maybe a flank in the mid lane. We'll see. They left Quas and OQ.
A deep base race with a mid 1v1. I don't think it's going to happen, though. We already have Ray splitting the numbers.
3 on 2, 3 on 2.
Three's a crowd, and Ray is going to be able to fight this. Does Hooters Keen speed up? He gives himself chrono shift.
Arrow?
Ray's looking for the weakest member. Arrow comes through. That's enough lockdown on Kiwi Kid. And from across the map, Apollo finds his mark.
Yeah, but they're going to continue to push down bot. They get another turret. Top lane lost their turret as well, but Apex come up big. This is 2 unanswered turrets for them overall, and that's why it's 4-2.
So it's almost kind of identical to what happened last time, but this was on a gank on Quas in the bot lane, and then NRG was able to capitalize on a top and a mid lane turret as well.
Yeah, and Apex are just moving around a little bit better, especially in this game. They've been having priority on Dragon, on Drake, 3,000 gold up in almost 20 minutes here, and I like that play in the mid lane. I feel like they had a numbers disadvantage. Keen still able to come up big, and Kiwi Kid, I think, is unbreakable. Made it so that his hitbox interacted with the arrow. It's going to acquire things at a different range.
It will.
So,
and it does.
It probably would have gone straight past Kiwi Kid, but because he had his E up, he was like, I'm helping. Let me take this for my teammates. And there's no teammates around, so we just got to kill.
You hear that sometimes with like a Nami bubble or something. If you hit the outside of the Braum box, it'll capture the middle of the box. And then you're like, wait, that bubble wasn't near me as the 80 carry. What did you do, Braum? It's unfortunate. But we still love all the Brahms out there. Don't worry. We know it happens.
I think that happens with some Zig bombs as well.
That can, yes, it can happen as well there with the connection.
Oh, Quas.
Little love for the Viking in the top lane. Quas is safe with his members coming up behind him. Strengthening. Whoa, he flashes out. I thought he was going to dodge left, but he knew that would have actually closed the line off. A speed off here for Keen as he's dodging left and right. The top fight result, however, is going to be Ray going down first. He tries to jump to OQ to get the 80 carry out of the fight, but OQ spreads himself into a very safe position, and the rest of the team is now looking for a special. Shrimp's going to walk out of this one as they also take down Apollo, and as Shrimp tunnels on the ball, I don't believe there's a follow, and I believe you're right, Cyrene. NRG has eyes on Baron.
NRG make a great play there as a counter to what Apex were trying to do, and it was sectioned off perfectly. And we see it again. The Shrimp doesn't have his smite up just yet. He has a few seconds left on it. They're getting really low. If he just delays this, if he can get a Q on OQ, OQ's gonna die from. Ooh.
Oh! Seeking the prey, and he finds it. Shrimp picks up OQ.
I thought he was going to die from the residual damage from
there's
Baron.
Like a little burn on Baron that's an AoE.
Yeah, Baron's got a gigantic Sunfire Cave. See here, I love how this is sectioned off because they're kiting back. The arrow is down, so their hard engage isn't really available to them. So Apex have to play the run at you game. Yomu's going to keep him a little bit further away, and then he has to flash to get to OQ, and the OQ will get reset to dash away, but then they focus Ray, and Ray is the target they call out. Even through the Counter-Strike, he's going to get taken down by the Reckless Swing. And GBM and Santorin are able to pick off Keen. It takes him a little bit longer because of the ultimate, but they pop the cast, get him back. So it's the 2-on-1 to kill Keen. Keen ends up running towards Apollo, and that's where the two of GBM and Santorin are able to just pick them off one by one. So
and that's one of the things
2-on-1.
You don't expect that happens, Irene. The double Sightstone, Ruby actually as well, is coming out of Apex. They walked through their own wards up that river. NRG was just kind of power in numbers, and without vision, it was still stronger. So Apex kind of felt a little too secure on their own side of the map, and they really weren't.
Yeah, and now they're going to get back to turret. NRG are going to jump to an even larger lead for themselves now, be up to about 3,000.
Yeah.
And Ray is going to continue to push that bottom side of the map. Quas is 2 levels up on him, so Ray is really shut down at the moment.
We saw Apex coming out of the last game, kind of sighs of relief that the game was a victory, but
Quas,
not happy with how it played out.
Yeah, that's true. It's very true. If Quas is able to catch him, he might be able to run him completely down the lane because he almost has his ghost up, but Ray, smart about that, backs up. Despite having Rift Herald, still not able to hold up to Quas.
It's true, they did get that pretty early.
Quas is giving him a dose of his own medicine. Ray got the first blood onto Quas, and then Quas froze the wave and just made better choices early on of staying with the wave and not moving away from it at all. And that's why he's 3 levels up on Ray, and he's able to punish him. And they start zoning him from the wave too. So really well played here from Quas in terms of manipulation of the minions.
Yeah, much stronger as well, and not falling into kind of a pit of mentality. You know what I mean? Last game, it wasn't too well for him. You can see that happening a little bit here, and you kind of get down on yourself. But Quas, ready to keep going, knows he can still be pivotal for the team. And here plays it smart, doesn't need to take that fight, but he's actually drawing quite a few resources now of Apex. If this happens and NRG's in the right spot, they can start to gain a pretty nice advantage. Already at about 2K gold, they're looking to push that.
Yeah, you're hoping that they're a little bit further up, but your team on the other side of the map for NRG, not able to push this turret down and take advantage of Quas having to blow his ghost. He'll be up again fairly shortly.
Mid laners. Looks like we're actually getting semi-standard lanes with junglers coming in now as we're pushing all the way in. We got GBM versus Keen. Top laners on the bottom. Ooh, very close to the double. Minion picks it up for him. And top lane is actually giving up here. A lot of clear from Apollo's volley, so OQ and Kiwi Kid do not stay for that tango. And now it's just NRG trying to set up something for a few steps ahead now. Wards in place, get another pick, try to stay out of range of the arrow. Or out of view of the arrow, I should say. You're always in range.
Yeah, Quas TPing in. They're looking for Ray. Ray is cut off. But they have to be careful not to get collapsed on. GBM's going to look for a flank. GBM's going to try to get access to Keen, and Apollo, there's the arrow. GBM's going to come into the back.
Ragnarok, GBM, Chaos Storm onto Apollo. The laser went backwards. He could have done much more damage, but a kill still could be the cleanup. Apollo goes down quick. Ray is the next target, and the DPS besides Keen is gone from the fight, and it is not looking good for Apex. They did take out Kiwi Kid. Quas has his eyes on Keen, and he is trying to bring him down right now. The double bomb without a Ragnarok to follow may mean no catch. There's also no mana coming from GBM there, so the attack won't be as strong. And it's going to be a ring around the rosy now. Void rush in from Shrimp. He's out of the fight. And Keen is trying to look for the execute. Not going to find it. There's the attack. He has taken damage from OQ. And eventually will go down to the base turrets.
He's just trying to get the damage.
Locks it in there. He had enough time. What a cross-map fight. Both teams practically coast to coast there. And it's going to be NRG coming up with a few good kills. But Apex is going to pick up a third Dragon.
Yeah, and Infernal Drake as well. Helped them out a little bit in combat, but this is a large lead that's starting to mount here for NRG, and their composition is quite good. They have a lot of burst damage, they have a good amount of CC in team fights, and they have ways to avoid the CC with that fed O-Lock.
Yeah.
Like, all Quas has to do is rush to the backside, and talk last game about being primarily physical damage. Well, Quas is prioritizing armor, even though Jax has some magic damage, and so does Keen. All he has to do is build HP to deal with that. So he builds armor, HP, and make sure that he's able to tank through. GBM, that laser, doesn't matter. He's like, I don't need this ability, boom! Take that one! And then throws down the ultimate, and just enough damage from this Victor, which is the champion that, you know, he didn't pick last game, even though he had the option to do so. And it's a great champion for GBM. It's one of the champions he made his debut on in the NALCS. and then the long run.
Oh, we're not going to watch?
It's a marathon.
It's coming up on to 30 minutes. 3 Dragons in favor of Apex at this point. While NRG's looking better this game, they actually had a few Dragons in their favor, which was one of those mountains, something to help with objectives.
Even missing the laser. 4.5K.
Yeah, he still crushed that fight. Imagine what would have happened if he cleared the whole team there.
Yeah,
the laser.
Apollo wouldn't have even done 630 damage.
No. No, he would not. Could have had the chance. Maybe it would have happened. But
great flank.
Yep. You see the look forward for both teams now. 4K in the lead after fights like this, but I'm going to start giving Apex this accolade of you've done so much damage to the map that even if you lose fights, you're not losing anything else on the map. They seem to have this affinity to losing a turret after losing a fight. And somehow Apex continues to keep their structures here while losing members. Titanic up for Ray. A little bit bigger for him. He's going to get these fights and crush down waves.
Yep. It's the wave clear build
Yeah.
at the moment. Looking to hit turrets.
Oh, they're just pinging. Look at all these pings
He
coming
doesn't have
in.
TP. Ray's going to have to push. This
Yeah,
is a go for broke play.
Exactly. Apex says just do it. We are going to do what we can to go back and forth here. That's Glacial Fissure. That's Chaos Storm as well. If they just wait this out, there's a 1900 on the Baron, not even in smite range yet. They are working without a lot of ultimates. Shrimp gets it. GBM and the rest of the team may have used those ults way too early. Now it gives Ray a chance to have
buying even more
Baroned up ultimates in the bottom side. NRG is messing with the Chrono Shift, and this may be an inhibitor turret. Apex could really toy with danger here going back and forth, but they're just going to leave Ray to himself, push mid lane, and set the map up once again. Hopping out, he's going to have leap to, I believe, a ward. He still has his trinket up. And there it is. He's going to get another one. The undertows are still grabbed. Connected.
Oh, but here comes Keen. Keen's going to try to save him.
Gromp's actually not going to be there for him. He still has a ward. The ward over. You're right. Keen is there. One hit. Where can he go? He waits for the ward. There's one final pink. And Ray hop, skips, and jumps his way to safety. And an inhibitor turret has been taken down with everything going on.
They went for broke. Apex went for the desperate
that
play to keep Ray bottom side. Shrimp stealing this, and only Shrimp dying is the best possible scenario. GBM's trying to zone them by using the alternate. Shrimp goes in. 720. Yeah, that's definitely in smite range. They're about 800-ish at that point. So it stayed there for a good while. He had a good half second to do that.
And GA.
I actually wonder if there's like a stat eventually, no, I don't know if the technology's there yet, where you can track how long Baron has been in smite range to how quickly it was it was smited away.
For like what team?
Yeah.
Control that very tight moment, that very
find which jungler has the fastest fingers in smiting.
Do it. Let's have a contest. Where do they decide to go from here? Ray getting so much bigger now and almost unstoppable at this point. Team able to get themselves in. Apex very nicely playing around GBM and the Glacial Fissure there from Kiwi Kid. The Chaos Storm, they fizzled out. Feel free to go in, take the Baron. Hard work paying off here for Apex. Energy 4,000 gold lead just a little bit ago. Now it's tacked down to about 1.3.
Yeah, and this Baron buff gives them a little bit time on Apex's side to push up waves. Quas just has a rather large lead himself just because of the fact that he's up in kills, assists, CS. He's about to hit level 18 as well. And I don't know when it's going to get too much better for Ray. Quas beats him in the one-on-one pretty handily. And Ray's just going for what it looks like Frozen Mallet next. He's still kind of far off from having any resistances that are going to be relevant to Quas. I mean, I understand that there's true damage and build HP to counter that flat HP, but he's still going to have to deal with. He's still going to have to deal with the armor penetration of OQ and the GBM damage.
Yep.
So Ray is really squishy, despite having HP. It's kind of a roundabout way of saying he's not very tanky, even though he looks it. You're going to feel real good when you hit him because you're going to see all these bars fly away.
Yeah, but when you see a Jax coming in, your first idea is to turn away, to not run towards the lamp pole. It does hurt. We'll see if they know how to play it. Looking at the inventory would tell them the fight is possible. Ray sitting off on the wing.
Oh, let's do this.
They just about know it. Very nice relentless pursuit. Oku puts himself in a good spot to keep delivering damage. The front line stands.
Oh, he jumps on GBM.
Ready. GBM almost could go down here.
Oh,
He flashes out of it.
Ray!
And Apollo is going to be able to pick up the first kill on GBM. Ray now going in, goes down as they can't stop attacking him in time for the chrono shift. Quas is just trailing people around. He says, follow me, and he'll eventually go down. The Steric's gauge rage comes up, but he still goes down.
And immediately Keen rotates towards mid, speeds himself up. He's like, I've had enough with this fight. We're going to go mid. We're going to start getting more objectives. Inhibitor is in the eyes of Shrimp, and that mid lane turret is what Keen is looking at.
All the arrows to the bot lane, and Shrimp goes. Now he puts down a TP for the team as well. Just to make sure if they lose the minion wave, they have a way to get into the fight. Keen can also present himself here, but they're in the mid lane. They're about to spread energy thin, and they're just going to take that inhibitor turret.
Go for 2 in him.
Yeah, exactly.
Go straight mid. Oh, Ray, he might get Kiwi.
Not a very long time. The energy held that gold lead. Apex quickly turns this one over on itself, and they find themselves in the lead. Taking down those 3 members of energy opened up the map for Apex, and they're going to take everything on the way back out.
Yep, try to get that Ocean Drake too as quickly as possible. Make sure there's no counter available.
4 dragons, then you have your next Elder spawn with that on top of it. That will be nice if we get to that point for Apex. And also a point Energy may have to fight.
Man, this game is really back and forth here. If Apex win, it's like, who's player of the game? Shrimp got the steal that kept them in, but Ray, pulling a move like this, gets the stun onto OQ, then skirts the fight, goes over the wall onto GBM, and then has the Counter-Strike up again, flashes to the side, gets the stun, and then has the ultimate on him, so you don't want to go full out and try to pop him just yet, but then they decide to. Quas has to pop the ultimate, run to the side, and then he gets stunned right as it wears off. So 3 perfect stuns in that fight.
You see how the game has gone, actually, how the money has flowed. And it was just between 23 and about 35 minutes that it was all down for Apex. Finding their way back into this game now at that 35-minute mark. Baron and 40, Elder Dragon up next, as we just saw that Ocean Drake go down, so we still got some time.
Yeah, Energy were feeling good before.
Yeah.
Like, they have some time here, but they were feeling really good. They had a large lead. Quas was ahead in the split push. And then that Baron, Apex got the best possible scenario off of that. There is an alternate universe where that goes differently, and then Energy are completely in the driver's seat, but that is not this one. And now Apex are looking to possibly put themselves 2 games up over Energy, effectively 3 because the tiebreaker, and put themselves closer to that playoff spot.
And that's sometimes the chance that you don't see top teams take. Sometimes you do. We saw TSM take a 22-minute Baron that got them in trouble. Sometimes the teams will set them up before that. We saw it was just kind of a rush here by Energy. Definitely costing them a little bit as Shrimp was able to get in and take it. Now, it's not even going to be a 50-50 this time. That's what I was just talking about. Setting it up in your favor, having everything down. So the opposing team has to spread themselves thin just to check it. Apex now on the upper hand and looking for the base.
Yep, with Kiwi Kid down, they don't really have a way to stop the wave clear at all. They'd have to try and counter with their own, but it's super minions. Victor's going to have to be on duty for clearing these out, and they have a decent amount of damage here. Ways to kind of skirt in and out, and Apollo will be able to pick this up right quick.
Yep. Apex coming in, slightly the same comp, using 2 members banned out in game 1 in Zillion and Jax to try to get the victory here in game 2. Very close to putting the nail in the coffin. Energy have one last say here and may make it a little bit more if they can hold off Apex. Guardian Angels roaming around them now on 3 members of Apex. And Energy going in hard as well. They got to go for broke to try to save the Nexus. Santorin goes down himself. He'll be coming up on the GA. They're going to be going to the backside. There goes Victor. And GVM is down. He cannot assist the team anymore. Kiwi Kid's doing his damnedest, but it's going to be the double kill for Shrimp. Now they're on the Quas. He can't even move a foot into his own base. and they get him down before he can even fall forward. The Nexus follows just as fast, and Apex come flying back into this game to take it away from NRG.
And Apex say, despite losing to P1, they don't belong in those bottom 4 teams.
Yeah.
Trying to separate themselves and get that playoff spot. And that's a statement right there that they're saying, we're a different beast. We're going to take that risk and steal that Baron, get ourselves back in, and they do so with flying colors to bring it back for a 2-0.
Wins always feel good. Both teams can definitely look at this match for points where things went wrong, things went right. I mean, you can do that with any game. But in an extended game with the leads we saw here, the game should be closed out. I know we've mentioned it a lot, but when we see the top teams, like you said, sub 30-minute games happen. And it's almost a strategy now for teams to kind of wait, level up, get to that spot, and you're creating a danger zone for yourself, which will come when you play these top teams.
Exactly. That was the problem with things like MSI, where teams are waiting to power up